The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
Columbus, Ohio, some police officers at a strip mall Tuesday morning, a couple days ago, they took a man into custody. I guess he'd been on a bit of a crime spree, grabbing things as one does, going into one business after another. They took him into custody and then found something fairly surprising in his pants. Do we have audio from this?
We have audio. Now, picture this guy is in a leopard onesie.
You're underwear.
Don't move.
Get on your belly. Get on your belly.
On your belly. On your belly. On your belly.
What the heck?
Multiple gerbils.
In his pants.
Multiple gerbils recovered.
Multiple gerbils in his hands.
Do you have any more gerbils on you?
Please don't tell me you put a gerbil somewhere else. For your safety, is there a gerbil inside you?
Grab my shears and cut further up that pant leg. And probably this one because there's in there too.
There's gerbils everywhere. Okay. He's wearing a leopard onesie.
I don't think you could find audio of a police call ever where the word gerbil was used more than in that one.
It sounds like an episode of Police Squad.
I know they go on full-on SWAT bro mode here.
Yeah.
The cops into what the?
On your belly. On your belly. On your belly.
What the heck?
Multiple gerbils.
In his pants.
Multiple gerbils recovered.
Our suspect has multiple gerbils in his hands.
Do you have any more gerbils on you?
Please don't tell me you put a gerbil somewhere else. For your safety, is there a gerbil inside you?
For
my
your
shears
safety.
And cut further up that pant leg. And probably this one because there's in there too.
Yeah, there are all sorts of gerbils falling out. Steve, do we have a gerbil count in the story?
I'm just still getting over the fact he was wearing a leopard print onesie. That's
the weird part.
This guy's got a lot going on, doesn't he?
I just gives me. I like this. The only thing that could make this would be better is if it were happening on a flight, because I just want to hear from the cockpit. We got multiple gerbils on the loose.
Yeah.
It's just something about a pilot making the announcement would be the only thing funnier than dispatch going multiple gerbils.
Could you imagine those sitting next to this cat, and you're going to take a look because he's got a leopard onesie on the plane, and you look over and all sorts of his body is squirming. We did a story, Steve, while you were out here a couple of days ago. Guy trying to smuggle onto a plane 104 snakes in his pants.
Oh, for God's sake.
Had 104 trouser snakes, literally. And I'm thinking to myself, is that you've got to sit there on a flight. I mean, do you have a casual conversation? Are you squirming a little bit? Am I noticing your pants are moving? Weird.
From the flight deck, we've got a adder report. Asp and adder.
What
Loose
if
in first class.
the gerbil guy and the snake guy get together? It could be chaos, yeah.
Good Lord. Can you imagine snakes going after gerbils in your onesie?
On a plane.
Who needs drugs? Just put a prey and predator in your onesie and let the fun take care of itself.
For a good time.
Good Lord. Chauncey, don't listen. You should see the look on my dog's face right now. He's literally like, what the hell has happened to you? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, you humans.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
I'm your next door neighbor.
He lives right next door.
She lives next door.
Well, if it isn't my neighbor.
Total nightmare.
I've got to say, it's a nightmare.
Go figure.
The KQ Morning Show presents
Next door.
Next door.
Next door.
Nightmares.
Whoo, man. What do they say? Fences great, make great neighbors?
Yeah.
Oh, man. The next door neighbor, the next door app, the bane of our existence.
Oh, man.
It's great for entertainment purposes.
Never had it myself, but I love people's stories about it. You know, I love when they bring up next door app stories. Neighbors are weird and very nosy. Nosy is not out. Nosy is very in.
I don't have it. Rosemary has the Nextdoor app, and she has a few friends where they will catch up and how's it going, and then they'll share Nextdoor stories from their apps from respective different parts of, different cities they live in. Sure. But they're just so great. I love the things that people post on these apps. It's an amazing thing. I told a story once of a neighbor who just wrote a nice note about thanking the paper boy for such great delivery of his morning newspaper. And every comment from our neighbors was, well, tell him that I want the paper not on my bushes next time. Tell him to stop throwing the paper on the roof. Tell him he needs to double bag it on rainy days. There was like 40 comments ripping the paper boy apart. And I just thought that's what a nice message gets you.
Set him up to knock him down.
I love these next door posts. If you've got any to share with us, or even just stories about your crazy next door neighbors, feel free. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. This is a very simple one. I love it. Someone keeps delivering soup to my house with a note that says, quote, soup for my perfect little soup boy.
Wow.
And then he goes, I appreciate the free food, but I don't like soup. Please stop this.
But you're the little soup boy.
I've spent my life trying to earn little perfect soup boy stripes. I love soup. I eat it all the time.
You eat that, but does he eat it? I don't know if I'd eat the mystery soup.
No. I guess I just like that he goes, please, I appreciate it, but I don't like soup. How about the fact that someone's referring to someone else who's a homeowner as a perfect little soup boy?
I thought of you the other day. Facebook always has groups you may be interested in joining. One of them is soup lovers.
Yeah.
There's like 100,000 people.
I might have to check that one
out. How much can you say about soup? I guess there's a lot to be said. I did receive ended a relationship. It wasn't her, it was me. And I love chocolate chip cookies, my favorite. She makes really good chocolate chip cookies. And I come out of the house one day, and there on the front step is a large Tupperware of her chocolate chip cookies with a note that says, no hard feelings. P.S. There's no rat poison in these. Ha ha.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, well,
don't eat it.
Now that I didn't.
Not a chance.
I kept the Tupperware, though. But I was like, are you kidding me? Now I can't eat these. I don't know. She doesn't seem like the type. Probably wasn't. But did you have to put the P.S. on there?
This is anything that just there's nothing worse than you get into a new place, you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest neighborhood, I'm so happy I'm here. As long as you don't meet the neighbors, you can still suspend that myth, the suspended animation that you enjoy. Here's a post on the Nextdoor app. Yesterday, I was on one of my evening walks when I passed someone in their front yard talking on the phone. As I walked by, said person passed gas rather loudly without even trying to conceal it. Naturally, this upset me and ruined my train of thought, not to mention it smelled. If you feel like you need to break wind, please do it in a place that won't affect passersby. If you go outside, please go to your backyard or another place that is away from the public eye. Let's all work to make our community better.
What is this, Disney World?
Let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of places I will fart. My front yard, first on the list.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you have a front yard.
Yeah. Is this America or what?
Good gracious.
This one's old school. Someone actually put it up in their apartment building, the note, and underneath the note is a Ziploc bag full of candy, small little bite-sized candies. And the note reads, I'm genuinely sorry. I'm learning the bugle. It's for an audition. It will end before March.
Oh, funny.
That's pretty great. Few things. The only thing worse than that would be, I guess, your neighbor learning the bagpipes.
Oh, man.
I like this one. And by the way, our neighborhood, we lived in Nashville forever. There was a lot of older folks in the neighborhood, and we watched people get more and more comfortable with the internet. Like literally over time, the same people, and at first it would you can tell as somebody's just getting more and more comfortable with the whole process, and what starts as just an innocent question then turns into the great American novel 3 years later.
God, yes.
And there's a handful of people, and my wife knows them all by their handle on the Nextdoor app. That just the craziest requests. I mean, I've got family coming in. Does anyone have a bumper for a crib? I'm like, what?
Why not?
Yeah, it's in use. Well, yeah, let me give you the thing that keeps my baby safe in the crib. Or, what? Or there's just, or like so many things people ask for. Does anybody have, and it would be like, going out, we're going to go watch movies in the park. Does anybody have a blanket that's good for grass?
Yeah.
You're just like, what? Yeah, it's called my blanket. Any blanket. Any.
Yeah, your blanket, and then shake it off when you're done with it.
Listen to this. This is an honest-to-God post. My husband is gone to get some cancer treatments, and I need to help put my dog in my trunk's car. I need help to put my dog in my trunk's car. He drowned in my pool under the solar sheet, and I had some help to put him in a thick plastic bag and put him in the backyard at 1 foot deep.
What?
I just received a call that I have to bring my dog to the cremation place at 10:30 a.m., all caps, today, which is the only chance I have to do it. You will have to dig a little and take my dog with the bag and double it with a second thick bag and put it for me in my trunk. And then in all caps, I just cannot do it. Please help.
Happy to help.
Sorry, Mabel.
No.
Why don't you wrap that up with, and I'll pay you $500 to do it. I'm not double bagging your dog that I just dig up from your backyard.
Man, that's a rough one. Austin's on the horn on the KQ Talk and Text line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What do you got for us?
Before I was born, my parents moved into their new house, and the previous owners had all these red and white plants out in the front yard. It's like a bed of red flowers and then white flowers, red flowers, whatever. And literally, as soon as the previous owners backed out of the driveway, this ancient, terrifying German woman who lived next door comes over with a trowel in her hand, and she starts replanting all of them. So it goes red, white, red, white, red, white, without any asking, any prompting, nothing. Just, I've always wanted to do this. They wouldn't let me do it for them.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Wow, and that's why she didn't kill someone. Wow, all right, there's OCD right there.
Man.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's pretty strong. That's pretty great. Welcome to the neighborhood.
I bet she slept so well that night.
Oh,
she was dreaming of strudel and gingerbread houses. I don't know, a big mug of Pilsner or something like that.
That's
red,
fantastic.
white, red, white, red, white. She kept walking over to her window to check. Yeah, there they are. Red, white, red, white, red, white.
And her grandson was Jack White of the White Stripes. And he had a red-white color scheme for one of the most successful indie rock bands of all time. Austin, thanks for the call, brother. Here's another post.
Good, thank you.
Here's another. These are real Nextdoor app posts. Someone keeps farting in my mailbox late at night. I can hear it outside the window, and I smell it every time I check my mail.
What?
This is getting old. It's extremely childish. My bills and coupons smell so bad I can't even pay them or use them at the grocery store. Anyone in my neighborhood, please keep an eye out for the brown eye. I will catch the flatulent phantom.
Oh, yeah.
Alert.
The neighborhood alert for the brown eye. That's not possible. That's not happening. No, you're crazy. You're nuts.
By the way, how do you fart into a mailbox?
You need a little step. It depends on the mailbox.
Someone has to hoist you up.
Is it one of those bank? Yeah, right, exactly.
There's a joke in there.
Can I get on your shoulders, Tony?
I mean, I'm reminded of the, did you hear about the guy who twisted his ankle playing golf? He fell off the ball wash. It's like, there's something odd about farting into a most mailboxes are not waist high.
No. And you can't trap it in there. It's not going to stick. Most are not going to stick to your mail. That's just good old-fashioned crazy.
Once you put one in there, too, does it pop the flag up?
Well, that's always the goal. This is here. Listen to this. Sometimes the comments, the comments are the funny part. Someone wrote, "I found an electronic device on the road in the neighborhood. I hope someone can claim it. Text or call me at," and list their number. Like, okay. And then someone's response was, "Is it a lawn chair?" That's so great. Like, what in the world? Here's one. If you're going to do stuff, close the windows. Honestly, not that hard. Why would you want anyone to hear you? We hear you at 12 p.m., 12 a.m., and 10 p.m. Just close the window. No one wants to hear you having sex.
Oh, well, that's good for them. I'm a little envious. My God. And on a regular schedule, no less. I wonder if there's two people involved. Well, on that topic, here's one. Just a friendly reminder that you may want to, A, buy some blinds, or B, turn off the lights. We could see your sexy times from the road. Cool German flag, though.
Oh, I like the German flag touch. Here's a good one. Hi, all. We all use devices to connect to the internet and whatnot. And my grandkids come over and use their phones and iPads too. Well, the other day, my grandson went to connect to the Wi-Fi, and our neighbor's router name is All cops are buttholes. Now my wife and I are very upset because he started crying, and we had to explain to him that indeed all cops are not buttholes. It's just generally a rude thing to broadcast. Is there any way I could possibly block this signal or possibly call the non-emergency police and have them go over to issue a stern warning? I bet they wouldn't like to hear about a network called All Cops Are Buttholes. Any ideas, guys?
Let it go.
And, of course, the first comment, they should simply change the word "are" to "have," and it'll be a learning opportunity.
All cops have
buttholes.
buttholes.
Yeah, just
as
like
far
ours.
as we know.
Oh, it's simple. How about this? So, whoever just told my dog to shut the F up needs to come to my house and speak to me or my husband directly. Okay.
Hey, guys, did you move? Your Wi-Fi isn't working anymore. Nick, it's a post-it on their door.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we had a neighbor in Atlanta before there were next door apps. Then it was just getting to know the neighbors. And Rosemary and I, our first house we moved into, directly across the street was a woman, a single mom with like an 8-year-old boy. And we had a dog that loved kids, and we had cats, and we were in our front yard a lot. We'd sit in the yard, had a screened-in porch, and neighbors to the left, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Neighbors to the right, how's it going? Good to see you. Diagonally across the street, hey, what's up? Hey, how's everybody? Right across the street, woman and her single kid, they would pull the car in, they would get out of their car and go right to the house. I mean, straight line. When they left the house, they would walk right to the car and leave. They never acknowledged, never looked up. Both of them, the woman and the kid, never, ever acknowledged anything. They refused to do anything with any neighbors.
All right.
And so Rosemary and I immediately then started calling. We just refer to them as witness protection. They're obviously hiding, and there's witness protection going on. And we'd lived there for probably a year. And our next door neighbor came over once, and we were just tired. He goes, "Hey, have you met witness protection yet?" And we looked at him, we're like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, you know those people over there, I just assume they're in witness protection." And we were like, "That's what we think." And we were just totally like, "Oh my God, that's so funny." He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Well, you're like the third. So-and-so said that to me once." And I was like, "That's what I think." So everybody had the same thought because it's just a totally friendly wave and say hi neighborhood. And this woman and this boy, they were like in a circle of trust of two people.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with anybody. And the only time, 5 years, I interacted with her one time. And it was because our dog Clementine, I'm walking her, and she saw a few squirrels. And I just, what the heck, they weren't there. And we're on their side of the street. And I let her go sniff in this person's yard. A little small,
Sure.
little yard.
Yeah.
And the car, she pulled up, and I'm standing in her front yard with my very large dog, and she pulls up, and I'm like, oh, man, this will be weird. And I feel I'm trespassing, kind of. This is odd. And this woman opened the door to her car. Her son got out, and she looked at me and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" And I went, "Oh, good. Yeah, the dog's just, she saw a squirrel, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, great-looking dog. I see her all the time. Anyway, all right, good." And they just kept going in, and I thought, okay, the door's open. That's great. Now we can do this. Literally 2 days later, on the sidewalk, car pulls in, nothing. Looks down, doesn't. When she had to address me, she couldn't find a way out of it.
Right.
And that convinced me even more that she was in witness protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that Chuck Pahulnik. I always don't know how to pronounce his last name. Polinick. Yeah. The book Choke.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she stole the kid. Maybe she kidnapped the kid. That was the whole premise of the book.
There you go.
That could be it, She nabbed a kid.
Wow. Yeah, it was the strangest thing, and it was
weird.
I just never. It was always. I just love that everyone in the neighborhood had the same thought.
Mm-hmm. It's bad for the kid. The kid probably wanted to play with other kids.
That's what I'm saying. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
A woman actually did fall victim to a really bizarre scam in Maryland Heights, Ohio. Started with a phone call from what appeared to be her bank's customer service number. Huntington Bank is the name of the bank she goes to. They got a call, and it said Huntington Bank, whatever. She opened it. A caller told her, hey, there's a fraudulent charge on your account. That's going to get anybody's attention.
Yeah. sure.
You got to move some money to another account or it will be stolen. The man on the phone gave her numbers to a Chase Bank debit card and said, add this to your Apple Wallet.
Right, stop right there.
Yeah.
Now you've lost me. Now it's clearly a scam, but
you would think.
However.
But the reason this works, according to a lot of people who study these things, is when you put someone in on their back heel, if you get someone to panic, even momentarily over, wait, someone took money?
Yeah.
Their reason goes right out the window.
That makes sense.
Fix it, make it go away. Fix it, make it go away. And here's a guy very calmly and professionally explaining, we've got this handled. We saw this. We flagged this. But here's how we're going to keep your money from being stolen. People panic, and then they aren't able to focus on the part that rationally deals with problems. Check this out. It gets worse. She stayed on the phone with this guy, went to her Huntington Bank in Mayfield Heights, and she withdrew $6,000 in cash.
Stop right there. I mean,
then
now you've had time, though, to think about it.
Then she went to a Chase Bank. Caller said, tap the Chase debit card on her Apple Wallet at the ATM, transfer, and basically
she's an idiot.
She followed his instructions, and she put $6,000 right into an account she had no idea who it belonged to.
Yeah, she's dumb.
It gets real but again, hang on, it gets worse. She got home. The same guy, posing as a bank employee, called her via FaceTime.
Oh, wow.
He said, we need you to do a full body scan to verify your identity due to a failed transaction.
All right.
She told police she undressed and spun in circles on FaceTime.
Oh, I love her. She's single?
And she only recognized it. She realized it was a scam when she heard the person laughing on the FaceTime call.
Yes, of course, you idiot.
It's tough.
She shouldn't have $6,000. I'm glad she got scammed. I'm glad he took it from her. And guess what? She wanted to undress. She liked it. It was fun for her.
Until he starts laughing, then it's no fun anymore.
Now then you feel a little self-conscious. Wish you would have... put a filter on there, on that FaceTime.
The director of that particular county's Department of Consumer Affairs and the Scam Squad said in a quote, just for future reference for everybody, your bank is never going to FaceTime you.
No, they're not going to FaceTime
good to know.
you. Yeah, and they don't need you to physically go down, withdraw the money, and put it into another account. They can do that themselves.
They can do that.
And
they got little buttons and computers and all sorts of stuff.
I get the initial reaction, but then reason has to set in when you get into your vehicle, you drive down to your Chase Bank, you pull the $6,000 out. They had her jumping through so many hoops. She was probably just hoping, God, I hope I get to take my clothes off at some point.
If I get a FaceTime call from anybody not named Gorman, I don't answer it. No one, who's FaceTiming me? What the hell? Well, I don't want to see you.
Right.
The hell's talk? Just call. Better yet, text. Or better yet, wait till we bump into each other at Lund's.
Yeah,
what are you bugging me for? Jeez, man. I can't imagine. I can. The only scam I could ever, I think, fall for, and I should say this knocking on wood, it's the AI scam where they have your kid's voice. I can completely see people getting, oh my God, wait, hold on.
And then I'd be embarrassed to go, kiddo, I'd love to save you. I'm a little tapped out. Can you wait till the middle of the month?
That's the crappy part.
Yeah.
Hang on. You know that the 15th is a way better time to come to me for ransom.
So sorry.
But short of that, if you call me and you say you're from my bank, I don't answer. I don't answer phone calls.
No.
I mean, that's another thing. For screw FaceTime, I don't answer phone calls. Obviously, if I know who you are and you call, 50-50 I'm answering it.
Right.
If I don't know you, not a chance I'm answering that phone.
Right. Like most people, I think. And And then there's a process. I get it. It happened to one of my daughters when she was going to Mankato, Minnesota State down there. And so this was several years ago, maybe 10 years ago now. Who's counting? And someone called her up and said, hey, we're with the Mankato, the Minnesota State IT department, and your computer's been hacked, and we need access to your computer remotely. So, and she got scammed out of $500. And then she called me for $500. And I came at her.
Did she really get scammed out of $500, or did you get scammed out of $500?
No.
Because your kids are smart.
Yeah, I didn't get scammed out of the $500. She was down 500 smackers when she called me. I said, kiddo, you've been scammed.
How do you know it was her?
Well, I didn't give her $500. I love, my love is called tough love.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what that is?
This is where we learn. This is where you don't get to go out and eat Subway sandwiches for the rest of the semester.
Wow, I like it.
Ding dong.
I knew we were in trouble with our kids one day when our son Connell came home, and he literally looked at us. He goes, "Can you guys just try some tough love? I'm missing out on some. You're making it too easy for me." And I was like, "Wow,
yes,
thanks."
I mean,
that must have been a hard realization for you to come to.
Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I got my kids going, why is it always got to be tough love with you? What about just the good love?
I just want to put a button on the thought. I'm just now realizing. I said I don't answer the phone if I don't know you. I'll put right there next to like antibiotics and vaccines and organ transplantation. I'll put caller ID right there as the fourth greatest thing to happen to human beings. Thank you. Whoever came up with that, seriously, man, I owe you.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
Something tells me this is a special game today.
It is. It's patriotic fun time. This gem. The 4th of July, yes, it's all about fun and excitement, and so are all of these things we're going to focus on for our game. All fun and exciting. The categories are fireworks, sex toys, or snacks. We'll read them, and you guess which is which. Is it a firework, a sex toy, or a snack? And win.
Wow.
Yep.
That's just another classic from the mind of Tony Lee right there. We've got a couple callers ready to compete at this, the highest pursuit known to man. Who's caller number one?
Let's start out with the fine Scott from Minnetonka.
Scott, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Scott, are you a fan of either fireworks, sex toys, or snacks?
All of them.
Attaboy. Well, then you are in the right place, my friend. We got Three Dog Night and Little River tickets here and on the offering, so good luck to you, sir.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, Scotty, number one, 8-second ride. Firework, sex toy, or a snack?
Oh, God. Let's go sex toy.
Oh,
I'm sorry, is it a firework?
It was a firework.
8-second ride.
8-second ride. That's a bit of a self-indictment there, Scott. But listen, hope springs eternal. We can turn this game around. Let's get back on that horse. That's not a sex toy or a firework. That's just a saying. Sorry.
They're tough. Number two, Doc Johnson. Firework, sex toy,
Am I
or
going to fire up sex toy for all these? I don't know. I guess let's run it back. Sex toy.
You got
Attaboy.
it.
Yes, sir.
The old Doc Johnson.
I feel
The
like
old
a lot
Doug
of these could be
Johnson.
dual purpose, too.
Man.
Number three is Fiddle Faddle.
Pretty sure that's a snack.
That is true.
It is.
Delicious caramel corn, peanuts.
Yeah.
It's fine snacking.
Sure is.
Number four, Blue Banger.
Oh, God. Let's go. Let's go firework.
Nice.
Nice.
That is true.
Isn't that the Minnetonka High? Isn't that the Minnetonka Blue Bangers?
That was
No.
the name of the skipper.
Oh, okay.
All right, two more for you, Scotty. Number five is Hot Seat.
A hot what?
Hot Seat.
Hot seat. Oh my God. Let's go sex toy.
Wow. You're
Yeah.
on fire.
Wow. Let's go.
He's impressed with himself
Let's
even.
go. Hell yeah, I am too.
Your last one is Little Debbie Honey Buns.
Well, that's a snack.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
All right, you've done well, sir.
Scott
Very
went
nice.
5 for 6. Very well played, sir.
Yeah.
Man, I like a guy who gets knocked down in the first round, then comes back to win on all cards. Scott, 5 for 6 is great. Sit tight, brother. We're going to put you on hold for a minute. It's time for caller number 2. Who we got, Tony?
Caller number 2 is Doug from Lino Lakes. Bring it.
Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
Doug, are you a fan of fireworks, sex toys, or snacks, or all three?
I heard fireworks. What were the other two?
Sex toy or snacks?
Oh, yeah, we'll do it.
Well said.
Well, then we're going to wish you the best of luck, sir.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Number 1 for you, Doug, is Knuckle Up. Firework, sex toy, or snack?
Snack.
I'm sorry, that is a sex toy.
Oh, boy. Knuckle up.
Oh, yes.
Ryder
Well, there you have
can
it.
confirm.
Wow. Yeah. Opening up the Google. All right. Never mind. Let's move on, please.
Douglas, number 2 is hoo-ha.
Jeez. Hoo-ha. I'm gonna go with snack.
Shoot, I'm sorry. It is a firework.
Ooh.
I'm a zombie so far.
Ooh-ah.
Doug, number 3 is Steel Force.
That is a firework.
Yes, it is. Nice.
Man.
Very nice.
3 more for you.
That was tough. Wow. Okay.
Doug, number 4 is Banana Bites.
I'm gonna go snack.
How about that?
Attaboy.
Good job. 2 more. Number 5, Falcon Man Rammer.
Sex toy.
Yes, sir. And your last one, number 6, is Gushers.
Gushers is a snack.
Nice job.
Attaboy.
Wow.
Man, Doug, that's a heady 4 for 6. Great, well played, sir. But I'm afraid Scott, who went 5 for 6, just edged you out for the tickets. Doug, thanks for calling and playing. Scott, you, sir, are the winner of the day. 3 Dog Night and Little River Band tickets, July 19th at the Ledge Amphitheater. Congratulations, sir.
Lovely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, have a great night.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
This is a story that is drug-free but completely insane from Nebraska. A kid in the town of Bennett, 17-year-old boy, is in a whole lot of trouble. He's a big fan of trains. He's a train enthusiast. I don't mean model trains. I mean real trains. And he happened to be at the scene of a derailment recently, and he filmed it. He happened to be there as a BNSF train came off the rails. Now, 2 locomotives and 5 fully loaded rail cars came off. They remained upright, but they collided with an empty rail car.
Yeah.
There was like a switch that was wrong, and they jumped the tracks.
And he just happened to be there filming.
And he happened to be there
Opportune.
filming. 17-year-old boy. Go figure. Well, as it turns out, he's now been arrested. Apparently, not only did he report the derailment and film the derailment, he caused the derailment.
Oh, hey, you little psycho.
Oops. Yeah, he set up a tripod. It wasn't his iPhone. He had a camera on a tripod. He set it up ahead of time to be sure to get it because there's surveillance footage, like CCTV showed him long before the train got there. He was on the scene setting up the shot.
Billy.
And apparently the investigator said the cause was undetermined, but the boy, when asked, said, well, obviously a switch must have been flipped the wrong way. I was like, really?
You're stupid.
Obviously?
How'd you know that?
Yeah, dumb.
All the things you can get it. When I was 17, the biggest trouble I'd ever gotten into, let me think. Well, it was not derailing freight trains. Holy crap, man.
There was that old urban myth, though. I think it was an urban myth. It was in South Dakota, and then I heard it happened in Minnesota, too. And I went, wait a minute, so that never happened? You know how they put the coin on the train track and it smashes it, and you have a weird-looking flattened coin that someone had lined up a whole bunch of quarters, like 50 quarters on the train track, and derailed the train, and then it burned the town down or something like that. Yeah, there's a song about it. I think Split Lip Rayfield did a song about it.
I first heard that story in Wyandotte, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit where my grandparents lived. I was probably 5 the first time we were putting coins on the track, and someone said, don't put too many. You can derail that train.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's been going around forever.
This kid knew that was, just a bunch of bunk. You got to throw a switch. Oof. Little punk. And then he sits around and... So you said he has an interest in trains, not like a hobby so much as sort of a psychopath, sort of like, what do they call them? Pyrotechnics? Or not pyrotechnics, pyromaniacs.
Pyromaniacs. He told investigators, well, he's a train enthusiast, and I just happened to be there. And then he said, no, I wasn't in the area before. I was just driving by, and I got out and saw it, and I definitely did not tamper with the switch. But he did tell the investigator exactly where the switch was, and he knew how it did operate. Surveillance video did discover his car his 1996 Buick Park Avenue, setting up right outside. I mean, it's just like, dude, come on. You got to walk in through fields of wheat and under. You got to be nice, weird Woody Allen reference from my brain from Love and Death. Wheat, fields of wheat. You got to come in underground, undercover in camo and set the tripod up. You don't pull up your car, get out, set up a camera on a tripod, and it just so happens 3 minutes later a train derails.
Now he knows.
When I was a kid, no urban rural legend at all. A train did derail in my hometown in Kentucky, and it was at a part of the tracks, and the cars all came off and were like sideways. You know, it was like serious.
Yeah, big tipper.
And it was days and days, if not a full week, before it was all clear. But it happened at a place where the train tracks, there was a major intersection of two serious roads in town that people travel on, and it cut off two of the roads if you just think of a cross, like the one going north that's at the top and then to the left. Two of the four roads were blocked by train cars for a full week. The entire town's traffic was rerouted. My morning bus ride to school went from 20 minutes to an hour because of one train derailment. It was incredible how much that impacted everything.
Yeah, no kidding.
And, of course, we were right there on the scene, climbing on the derailed train cars every day.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Because it was the 70s, and
there was
what could have possibly gone wrong?
No, your parents probably wanted a Polaroid of you up there on top of the, fresh wreck.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
Well, it's Tony Lee's favorite week of the year, Nude Recreation Week. That's every week, the week after the 4th of July. So that's from the 8th to the 14th this year. Also known as National Nude Week. The whole point is to celebrate life outside the limitations of clothing.
Yeah, I suppose no sparklers during Nude Recreation Week, right?
I would err on the side of caution myself, for sure.
Right.
Most of us would find it a little strange, if not embarrassing, to walk out in public without clothes. But there are thousands of nude enthusiasts, nudists, naturalists who, every year look forward to this week because they feel even less inhibited than normal. They're out there just celebrating the human body in its most natural form.
Yeah, I am curious about being naked in front of a large number of people. I'm just kind of curious. I think I'm a pretty open fella. I'm a bit of a risk taker. I'll try anything after a couple of beers.
Make it happen. I guess we'll see.
651-989-ROCK. Where should I go around here? I know we have some nude camps, and I'm not going to come out there with a microphone or anything like that, trying to do interviews on the street or anything like that, or make it some salacious radio bit. I'm just kind of curious what it would feel like to be casually nude in front of a large number of people.
The only time I have been nude in public was when I lost a bet and I had to go streaking in front of the cheerleaders. I was in 8th grade, and it was not in front of them, but I had to actually run. They were all in their practice. I had to run around them, like do a circle around them nude, wearing just my Adidas soccer cleats.
Keeping eye contact.
Socks.
Like an Australian shepherd herding the cheerleaders.
No eye contact was made at the time. The good news for me was it was the varsity cheerleaders, so it was all like juniors and seniors, and as an 8th grader, that was far better than if it had been the middle school cheerleaders. Right. That would have been catastrophic.
The older gals are just, look at this cutie. Yeah. Look at him go.
Yeah, they really were. They were just like, oh, little Stevie. That youngest Gorman is, well, I didn't know he was so funny. But that was the only time that ever happened, and I made damn sure never to let that happen again. This is the stuff literally of nightmares. We've all had that dream where we're in public and if not fully nude, at least pantless. And you're like, what in the hell is going on? But then, so that was my one experience. And again, it was a bet I lost. I had to do it. It was funny. It's a funny story all those years later. But as it was happening, I don't recall feeling free. I don't recall feeling like this feels great.
No.
But Tony, as a man who no stranger to the concept of streaking yourself.
Streaking enthusiast.
You were a full-on enthusiast. Last time you streaked, how old were you?
Oh. Wow.
Please say 57.
Probably college.
College age, so 20s, early 20s. How ballpark figure for the number of times you literally, nude streaking in public?
20.
Oh, really? That many?
Probably.
Oh, that's
great.
We
used to love to.
It's a curiosity. It's
to do something with your hair. differently.
Exactly.
And a nice penis.
Right, is that a rub-on tan, or what do you got going on there?
Wow, that looks like a penis, but smaller.
Streak like the high school parties when we were younger.
Yeah.
And my friends' parents would still go, Tony, you're wearing clothes. That's something different. Mrs. Fantle would say that to me every time. You're wearing an outfit of some sort. That's not like you.
Wow, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on, young man.
Nude.
But then again, okay, so I'm sure any nudist who's listening is already rolling their eyes going, well, that's not streaking. We're talking about, we're not streaking.
Yeah.
We're just literally chilling. We're talking about things like the spontaneous combustion engine and its practicalities while nude. We're talking about how do planes work?
Yeah.
Do you believe in God? They're having real conversations. They're just doing it naked.
I mean, is eye contact a big thing? Are you allowed to let your eyes wander? Because if they're not, then they're kidding themselves. I mean, come on, I know we all have some shades on outside or whatever, but yeah, you're going to take a look around. It's an Audi.
It's an Audi. I think it's, to your point, Zep, yeah, you're kidding yourself if you think people aren't checking everybody out.
Right.
But I guess it is. Is there a point in time when after so many nude bodies, after a certain number of minutes, you are kind of over it? You're just like, I guess that's the point they're getting to, which is it probably takes a lot less time than you would imagine to just stop feeling like this is kind of exciting and it's just kind of normal. Here we all are.
Well, and I don't know if I want to lose that, I still have a bit of that childlike innocence that when someone starts to get naked around me, I get excited. It's fun. It's, the adrenaline starts pumping a little bit, and the blood's flowing and all that good stuff. And I don't want to just get casual about nudity, too casual about it,
You don't want to lose the sexual titillation.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I've been on a couple of nude beaches. The first one was as a high school student, and that was incredibly uncomfortable. I was not nude. I just walked down a beach.
I did that too, yeah.
I walked down a beach in Sarasota, Florida, of all places. A senior trip, me and two of my buddies, 3 high school seniors, a week before graduating. We were told, well, if you go up this beach, just take it all the way to the end, and then there's like some rocks and a couple trees. But if you get around on the other side of that, it's a nude beach. And, of course, we were ready to climb Mount Everest to get around those rocks and trees. And we did just that. And we just walked down the beach, sunglasses on, eyes forward, or I should say faces forward, eyes darting like those Battlestar Galactica things, like left to right to left to right, trying to take it all in, and just mind blown. And sadly for us at the time, far more men than women, but there were women on the beach, and it was, truth be told, I mean, we walked down probably 10 minutes. I wanted to go like for the whole length, but we realized we're obviously interlopers here, and they're very used to that. Like, I'm sure we felt like we looked cool and calm and collected. Right. To any adult nude person, they were like, "Look at these 3 horn dogs walking down, trying to look calm as they're walking down the beach."
That's so suspicious.
Oh my God! I would imagine I could have I can't even begin to fathom that feeling that I had. Like, if you put that feeling in my body right now, I'd probably just pass out. I'd just be like, oh my God, I forgot it was like this. I'd just fall over dead. But by the time we left that beach, we were just so, like, I was like, I just got to sit down. This is just too much. I don't know what to do. It was, just to see naked people hanging out, just chilling. It was way more than I was able to process at 17 years old.
Yeah, I was a young man. I was early 20s, and we were down in Mexico, and kind of the same thing. If you go down there and around to get to the nude beach, and we went down there crawling over the rocks, thinking we might get nude ourselves. We had a couple of cocktails in us, and we're feeling very south of the border. But yeah, as soon as I came around the corner, it was a bunch of oldsters. And at that time in my life, now I'm that oldster, but at that time in my life, I didn't see an old person naked. And it just did not, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not going to get like, because their bodies were so wrinkled and old and loose. And there was some of that going on, sure. But it was like walking in on mom and dad. I was like, we shouldn't be here. These people are older. By the way, I had to Google it. Thank you for not calling me the talk and text line. But Feel the Freedom, Minnesota's premier nudist club, the Oakwood Club. And by God, there I am at oakwoodclub.com. And they're naked and they're playing pickleball. Right there on the front.
Okay.
There he is. No grooming required, apparently. And then the other spot would be this welcome to Aviton Minnesota's largest and oldest nudist club, celebrating 60-plus years of a nude attitude.
There you have it.
Nuditude.
Yeah, nuditude. And these are within a quick drive from the cities. If my sister wasn't in town this weekend, her and her husband are in town, I'd dash off. Maybe the weekend after if I'm not busy. Run it by him. Not my sister, no. No.
You have to drive up there nude? You pull in?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have to be ready to go?
It's all here on the website. I can dig about events, resources, members. Oh, does there have to be a membership?
Yes.
They're going to nick me for a few bucks. Can I get a day pass? Okay, yeah, these people are naked in the pictures, too. There they are, volleyball, and seems to be a little meet and greet.
Do you think they have changing rooms, or do you just throw your clothes off as soon as you walk in?
Right.
This is what I don't know. I'm a noob. But they're putting puzzles together naked. Okay.
Puzzles.
I see it. Maybe this is it. Maybe I'm just not sedate enough. I want to be kind of excited. I want some nude fun going on, but I don't want to put a puzzle together with someone naked. But, good for them.
I had a near miss, and it's funny because it's a near miss, and it's something that was this one of these moments that I kind of forget it ever even happened because nothing ultimately happened. But in 1995, on the road in Stockholm, Sweden, beautiful city on a summer day, river going right through it. You can, my bass player and I, we were playing. We did a festival, or maybe it was just we were the second on the bill to Page Plant. We played, and then they went on right after us. A few other bands had played before, and it was right alongside this river. And we were in downtown Stockholm, and somebody told us, you can. This is the river. If you just go a few miles up the river, that's where your stage is going to be, and you could rent canoes.
Yeah.
Canoes, rowboats, kayaks, whatever.
What did we call it earlier? Nude canoeing? Or what was it called? Nude? Someone was talking about it. It was one of the stories we did. Anyway,
canoodling.
I've heard of canoodling.
Canoodling, yeah.
Canoodling. This was just, we just got a couple, we both got I guess it was more like a kayak because we were both in one. And the guy said, well, you can, and behind, right near the stage, you can take a boat one way. So we were like, cool, got a message back to the tour manager. Hey, don't worry about us. We're going to find our own way to the festival site. And we just canoed or kayaked up this river.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the river at one point, there's a small little, I guess it was an island, just a little
sandbar
right there. And there was about 9 people frolicking in the nude on this sandbar. 5 guys, 4 girls, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And every one of them, it looked like a Tom Ford modeling agency brochure come to life. The guys, too, every one of these people was, all the women were 5'10", all the dudes were 6'3". They all looked unbelievable. It was like some bizarre Swedish fantasy come to life.
I'd be taking my clothes off, too.
And as we're going by them, they were like, Johnny, our bass player, he had good facial hair, had beard, and this one girl, she goes, oh, I love your beard. He goes, oh, thanks. And she goes, and your tattoos. He's like, thanks. She goes, why don't you come up and show me everything? And I'm like, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and we both look at these damn rings on our hands, and we're like, but we're like, nah, we got to keep going. And they're like, are you guys going to the music festival? And I'm like, is this a candid camera bit? Is this here? This was, and I was thinking, our wives set this up. We're being filmed right now.
It's a test.
And we slowed down enough to have conversations with them. And but the dudes are standing, they're like, hey, come on, guys, we're going to party. If you're going to the show, maybe we'll see you at the show. And we're like, yeah, we'll see you up there. And we just keep going, and we're laughing so hard. It would just seem like this was truly out of some Scandinavian fantasy website you would find.
Yeah.
The most beautiful young people on the planet are beckoning us in the nude to hang out with them on a sunny day.
That's great.
And we go up, and then we end up we take the boats and we turn them in. We walk. We have our laminates so we can get backstage. And then we are on stage, and we've played about 3 songs. And Johnny comes over and looks at me and goes, those people are all right up front. I go, no way. And I look down, and they were clothed, but there they were. And they're looking at us like, yeah, you're up. And I'm like, what if we had just said, it would have been so funny if we said this later. What if we'd been like, all right, we'll just keep this to ourselves. This will be our little secret. Let's go hang out with the naked Swedes for a while.
Yeah.
And then they would have been at the show, and then there would have been a whole thing. It was like, every now and again, I'm like, I probably should have done it. The truth be told. Then I'm like, no, at this point, I'm really glad I did.
Next time.
Naked Swedes.
The naked Swedes were out in full force, man.
Hello.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I live with my wife. I have a 12-year-old son at home, so we do the important stuff still. Like, we still have sex, but there's always someone in the house now. And, so for 12 years, the only noise we've made is... That's like the most fun we've had in 12 years. We go... And one of you pipes up. Shut up! He's listening at the door. He's going, they're having a battle. Sounds even so far. Oh, Dad won.
Chris Maddock right there. This is the KQ Morning Show. He's a very funny gentleman, the Stillwater guy. Been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a conversation a few years ago. My son, early in the pandemic, when we're all still getting used to the fact that we can't leave the house, spending a lot of time together, a lot of Uno, a lot of Scrabble, a lot of everything going on. And out of the blue one day, my son started telling Rosemary and I about the time that he heard us in bed having sex when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
And he told us this whole long story about it, and we were just blown away. And then at the end, he goes, I'm just making every bit of this up. I never heard a thing. But he had us we were completely like, and what now? And you did what? And you were outside, and he literally was about to say he came in the room, and we didn't even notice, and he was trying to tell us he had climbed under the bed.
Yeah.
And we were just like horrified. And then he goes, I'm kidding. I know. Anyway, those are good times.
My mom and dad used to just tell us they were fighting. Sometimes they go, your mom and I are going to go fight in the other room. Yeah. I was listening to Chris there, and I'm thinking, we just thought mom and dad were fighting. It sounded like they were fighting. I did walk in on my grandma giving some dude a mouth party one time when I was a little kid.
You did not.
Yeah, in fact, there was. I told this story years ago. One of our KQ listeners actually got the Hotmail handle. It was like Zep saw his grandma giving a guy a BJ at hotmail.com.
Your grandma.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. My grandmother was single at the time and divorced, and we were living in a trailer with her when I was a small kid in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and she had a friend, much like Alice, did on the Brady Bunch, and he was like the local.
Oh, Sam the Butcher. Right.
Yeah, and he would just her old friend would drop by every once in a while, and she had a sliding door there in the trailer, and it was open. It was
I can't resist. Sam occasionally would bring the sausage. Is what you're saying?
He brought the sausage, and grandmother enjoyed.
I saw Grandma kissing Sam the Butcher. Hang on. I'm feeling holiday festive all of a sudden for some reason.
I didn't get it till years later, and I went, wait a minute.
Hang on a second. You just thought you'd been bitten by a snake. She was working the venom out.
I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew I shouldn't be looking.
Well, I can tell you. And how old were you probably?
Oh, well, we moved out to South Dakota when I was 5, so it was probably 4.
Yes, explains a lot. Doesn't it, guys? It explains a lot. We're getting some insight here.
Yeah.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
My son is 24 now, as of yesterday. Huge sports fan, and we'll be talking about the World Series from last year. And I go, wait, who is in it? And he looks at me like, what's wrong with you? But ask me about the 1987 World Series, or ask me about the NBA Finals from any year from 1970 to 2003, or ask me about any football Super Bowl up until the last 10. I remember everything about everything from a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would be thrilled to delete all my 70s sports memories and just put the last 10 years in there. I did sports talk radio for years and wouldn't remember year to year who was in anything. It's crazy. Yeah. My brain, there's not room for new, useless information.
Cleared some room off the hard drive.
The old, useless information is still there. I remember the first phone number I ever had. I've not used it since 1975. 301-987-1352. Hello, Gormans. That's what you heard if you called that number.
698-1734.
Say it again?
698-1734. Mine.
1734. I like that.
605-883-4526 is no longer the ranch's phone number, but
it was for
up to
years?
about 5 years ago. The entire time I grew up.
Ryder,
729-9584.
There it is.
867-538. What is it? I don't even remember that.
867-530-99. I remember I moved to Kentucky in 1975. That was 502-886-8741. I remember, I know more of them. I mean, I remember my phone numbers from the 90s, Rosemary and I. And, we had a condo and then we had a house. And then we went to here, and we had a different number when you'd move back then. You didn't keep the same number. I remember all of them. There's no reason for me to remember any of this crap. 917-936-1136. That was my cell phone number, my first New York cell phone number. Wow. Why do I still I don't need it.
He's got some sort of savant brain. It's useless. I mean,
completely useless.
You can't use it to count cards in Vegas and win a bunch of dough, or to go on to Jeopardy and I don't know, maybe you would do pretty well on Jeopardy. I don't know.
I think that, and then I watched Jeopardy and realized I wouldn't. No. A teen Jeopardy, I might have a chance with.
They don't have
Celebrity Jeopardy, I could have a chance with. Jeopardy, I'd get boat raced.
They don't have that category, your old phone numbers?
I'll take my old phone numbers for 800, please. What about so I would love to get rid of them. Another one that I still remember. This is a weird one. Friends' birthdays from my life. Now, I have 7 siblings, and 3 of them, I can't tell you their birthday because I have there's some Marches and Aprils, and it's a block in my brain to remember who's on which. Yeah. Literally, it is. And I try to figure it out, and every year I'm like, this is the year I'm going to finally remember Dave, Ann, and Bob's birthdays. It's never happened. All the rest of them, easy as pie. I don't know why. But I know childhood friends' birthdays. People I haven't seen in decades.
No, I couldn't.
Their birthday parties were so much fun. They're ingrained in your brain.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I met my friend Brooke Lawson, April 8th. That's the day Hank Aaron passed Babe Ruth. Those things are linked in my brain. Every April 8th, I'm like, oh, Hank Aaron, Brooke Lawson. I mean, they just go together, and it's like, I don't need to know that.
I literally only remember the birthdays I was there for.
Really?
My 2 children being born and mine. Mm-hmm. My mom and my brother were born on the 18th and the 19th of May each year, including this past year. I got it wrong. Mm-hmm. I was like, happy birthday, Mom. Chris's birthday. Dang. And I can't tell you how many relationships ended prematurely because I forgot the frickin' birthday.
How convenient.
Oh, no, it wasn't even convenient. I mean, it's so embarrassing, and I would remember like the day after. I'd be like, it was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it? I was wondering why you weren't talking to me.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, I just did it not long ago, about a year ago. Forgot the birthday. With her all day long. Just slipped my mind.
Oop.
Yeah, well.
A good friend of mine from college is celebrating a birthday today, Kevin Dugan. I never knew his birthday until my son was born, and then I found out his birthday was the next day. Yeah. I also have a nephew, Ryan, whose birthday is today. So on July 25th, my son's 24th, and then now I just know a guy that I rarely see, but is still one of my favorite people ever. But the whole time I knew him, I never knew his birthday. But then 24 years ago, I realized his birthday was the day after mine, and now I think of him every year. It's crazy.
Rachel's a Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. This is the most useless information ever. There's literally nothing you can do with that. And yet you're going to struggle to remember what game show we're playing today that you just talked about 5 minutes ago.
I'm dead serious. I've already forgotten. First Wi-Fi passwords or my first email password. Yeah. I didn't get an email account until the summer of 2000. I mean, I was a little late to the game. Yeah. I got my first AOL account, and I remember my first password. Yeah. Because I was thinking it should be something about Gorman, maybe. And I'm not saying this because I live in Minnesota now. It was Go Gophers Gophers. That was my password. Because it just came to me as I was like, well, it's something about Gorman and Go. And I just went Go Gophers Gophers Go Gophers. And so I wrote Go Gophers Gophers. And that was my long-ass password for my first AOL account.
A secondary fight song for the University of Minnesota. Yeah. Go Gophers. Gophers. Mine was very clever. It was Zepp 1966, the year I was born.
Attaboy.
They could have never hacked that.
Not a
I wanted
chance.
something, and people would say, "Well, I remember at the time I was saying, well, that would be pretty easy to guess, wouldn't it?" And I said, "Well, I've got to remember it also." But yeah, now I've got a whole. Now I need a password to get into my passwords because, there's just too damn many passwords out there and they're constantly making you change them. That would be helpful if I could remember those. But no, for some reason, I swear to God, I've never listened to the song, maybe once, but I know all the lyrics to Rockin' Robin. I don't know. I
why
don't know
that
why.
song?
Really?
I don't know. Rockin' in the Treetops all day. I'm not going to sing the whole song.
Hopping and a bopping and
I'm singing his song. That one and some, embarrassing love songs from the 1970s for some reason. I swear to God, I never listened to them, but I can belt out Copacabana. And I write the songs.
Well, music gets into your head. And speaking of Barry Manilow, all the jingles he wrote,
Right.
those are all, the Kawasaki Lets the Good Times Roll. That song has not been broadcast since like 1970.
Yeah.
I thought it ended in the 90s. But all the 70s jingles, You Deserve a Break Today, anything you hear a few times like that, if it's set to
All
music.
beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, special onions on the sesame seed bun.
Sure. Have it your way. Have it your way. I remember all the songs I learned in French in school, like the songs to teach me the days of the week, the months of the year. I know all the lyrics to the French national anthem. I mean, there's no reason for me to still have that on Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé, contre nous de la tyrannie. I can do the whole song horribly, but why? How about this? How about I just remember 3 of my siblings' birthdays instead? It just doesn't happen.
Why do certain things stick in your head? Whenever I took a test in college, a quiz, an exam, the theme song from Casper the Friendly Ghost would not get out of my head. Only when I would take a test. I'm not kidding. I don't know why.
Wow. Wait, what is the theme song to Casper the
Friendly? Always say hello, and he's really glad to meet you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was a friendly fellow, wasn't he?
Wow.
Grown-ups don't understand why children love him the most.
Wow.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
That's really good.
Very annoying.
Man, do you remember? That just reminds me of this. Who's the king of animals in Africa? Who lives deep in the Kimba the White Lion? That was the one. Kimba the White Lion is his name. Man,
You're off in
it's
the
all
tulips
buried
now.
in there.
Yeah.
Don't even. Of course, the standards. Gilligan, Brady Bunch. We remember all the lyrics to all of those. Yeah. I remember the lyrics. I remember when I hear the Go-Go's "Our Lips Are Sealed," I will forever say "a la Kazeel" because someone in school thought that's what she was singing.
I thought it was "Honest, I See You."
Honest, that would work. That's a line for another. That's a country song, right?
I think we used to have to memorize a lot more. So much of it's in my phone now. I have a combination lock and a storage locker, and I have to go to my phone. Right now, I couldn't tell you what the first numbers are because I always go to my phone. However, my combination to my Foot Locker in 1984 in basic training is 27817. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
But I literally was at a storage locker a week ago going, and I had to walk back to my truck, get my phone out. And went, all right, there it is.
Do you guys do this? I use football players' numbers to remember codes and numbers.
Oh, constant. That's it. Yeah, I do that and I associate it. So I remember my own age. I'm like, it's a Jack Lambert year. I'm 58.
Yeah.
It's Jack Lambert this year. Next year it's going to be Ham. I'm going to be, which one was it? I'm forgetting his first name.
Jack Ham.
Jack Ham. Yeah, the other Jack. Yeah, Jack Ham. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, it'll be 59. See how that goes. And then I get into the offensive lineman years. I'm going from linebackers to offensive linemen. And some down linemen, you had L.C. Greenwood, and you had some 60s in there, of course.
Wow, that's the lineman years. I mean, that's a good way.
That's
That's a good way to look at it. I like that.
Maybe I'll make it to the receiver years. I doubt it.
As Brian gently approached the lineman years, the softness overcame him. He wasn't quite so bristly. Oh my God.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.